This is the third story from the London Plus book. Its name is The Children's Hospital. I don't like hospitals, and I don't like London. My sister rang me about her daughter Dot. We had talked on this over the past year many times. I had said she'll get better. It's just a phase. That she feels this way so young, she'll grow out of it. My sister was getting desperate. In Scotland they tried to find somewhere, but all they could get was outpatient care, and that failed to stop Dot starving herself. At their wits' end, the parents and Dot went to the London Children's Hospital, and they assessed Dot and decided to admit her straight away. My sister had mixed feelings, but mainly relief and feeling that perhaps the hospital could succeed where nothing else had. I said I could visit her once a week, and my sister asked me to send a text message each week about my visit. For these visits on Saturday, I would take the bus into Ipswich, the train to Liverpool Street, and the tube to the hospital. It all took time. I would join Dot in the day room. I was shocked when I saw her first. Do remember I had not seen her for a couple of years. Her arms were so thin, and even though her blouse and trousers covered her body, her bones stuck out wherever she bent them. I went over to her and said hello. She said nothing. Her eyes were looking down, or at the window, or over at the nurse's station. And when I am nervous, I talk a lot. And away I went, explaining my journey and how my family were and heaven knows what else. I moved around trying to catch her eye. It was no good. It seemed a long time, but may not have been. On the train I sent off my first text message, and it wasn't very optimistic. Before going again, I talked to a very helpful nurse, Connie, and she said just relax, and if she lets you hold her hand. So I tried that. Everything inside me wanted to talk. I wanted to tell her about her family all praying for her, how my brother said he might come up soon after from the north, and how my wife and the girls were sending their love. But I just sat. She said nothing. She didn't look at me. And so it went on. I can't remember exactly when the nurse told me she was speaking again. I remember when Dot held out her hand for mine. It had been week 6. Her mother came down about this time, and they managed to go together to a cafe. Was this the first time she spoke to any of the family? After that I rang Connie, who allowed me to speak, but said put no pressure on Dot. She, Dot, is just beginning to recover, and it's very important to be gentle. Then the weeks went by, sometimes progress, sometimes deterioration. Perhaps it was good that I was not in her immediate family, and in some way an outside observer. One time I remember her calling over to a friend to meet me, and then her mother saying she ate a burger, bun and all, and one day she said thank you. My messages got longer and more positive. The day we all had hoped for, but somehow had feared would never come, she was to be discharged on Monday. I was working and unable to meet Dot and her family on the great occasion. They were driving back to Scotland. I'd missed a visit now and then, but nevertheless I'd seen her most Saturdays for over a year. And now sometimes I scroll through the messages and miss seeing Dot.